Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this week's NWA live stream. This is going to be tricky. There's no two ways about it. This is going to be a difficult one. Not to watch. I think it will be a lot of fun to watch. I've got no problems watching it. I just think streaming it is going to be a little bit tricky because this is something very different. This is going to be Momma Storm being interviewed by Tim Storm. I should have said that the other way around. Tim Storm interviewing Momma Storm. I am in Momma Storm's house. She doesn't know about that. I have just snuck in and made myself a lovely herbal tea. Thank you, Momma Storm. Yes, I am round her house. But obviously this interview is pre-recorded, so I don't really know why I'm here now. But anyway, all of that to one. Let's put to one side the fact I'm round an old person's house, who I don't know, and I've got a T-shirt off them. But this is what this stream's going to be. It's going to be very strange. It's going to be very, very strange. But I think it will be a lot of fun as well. And as we said, this is going to be something a little bit different. There is no Carneyland this week. They've put it on hold for a week, I believe. I think it's back next week. This is apparently going to have questions asked by you guys. So on Twitter, Tim Storm actually reached out and said, have you guys got any questions you want me to ask Momma Storm? And people responded. I've got some of the questions here. They are quite glorious. One of my favorites comes from Flex, and he says, does she have any killer recipes for pecan pie? Which, you know, I think we're really going to get the big questions tonight. We're going to get the questions that we've all been wondering. Does she have any pecan pie killer recipes? We're going to find out. I thought of some questions that I would ask her. So here's 3 questions that I would ask Momma Storm. Okay, question number 1. This is a nice easy one. What is her favourite TV show? It's quite easy, isn't it? But, you know, no offence. What do old people watch these days? Because there's no Golden Girls anymore. Yeah? I don't know what else they watch. Like, that was it. I think that was the only programme that catered for them. What else? Do they just watch the news all day? Because they're not watching Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones. Yeah? It's not old person friendly. So, I don't know what old people watch. I'm only 21. So, I haven't got a clue. Outside of Golden Girls, what else was there that was catering to old people? I Love Lucy? I don't know. I don't even know what that is, right? I don't even know how I know about that because it was never shown in the UK, right? So I don't know what she watches. So I'd be quite interested. I'm not looking for NWA to be the answer. Yeah, I'm not looking for her to say the NWA or anything. I genuinely want to know, what do old people... If you know, drop it in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. What do old people watch? Next up, who did she fancy when she was growing up? We could get a little bit of dirt. Things could get a little bit kinky. Who did she have a crush on? Who did she fancy when she was growing up? Before she was Momma Storm, when she was Teen Storm, yeah? Who did she have a crush on? I'd be quite interested to know that. I mean, I probably, rather than saying these questions to you, I should have sent them to Tim. But there's no way I'm saying to Tim Storm, can you ask your mom who she had a crush on? There's no way I'm doing that. I'm not, no way. So I'm brave enough to say it here to you guys, but I ain't sending it to Tim Storm. So I want to know what old people watch on TV. I also want to know who she fancied when she was growing up. And the final question that I had, how much does she see Bitcoin going for in about 5 years' time? Because that would really help me out. If she thinks that at the moment it's at 8,000, right? If she thinks that's going to go up, maybe it's time to invest, right? I don't know. So I need to know what she's saying about Bitcoin. So those are my 3. So there we go. Those are my 3. Old people watch Wrestling Days, says £10 a podcast. Yes, true. Old people host Wrestling Days. Hello, everyone. Hope you are all well. Anyway, those are my 3 questions that I would like to ask. Ballyhoo, everyone. Not my phrase. That is the phrase of £10 a podcast. WWE Boy 90, you can get a shout out. Of course you can. Joshua, shout out to you as well. Robbie asking, how is it going? It's going very well, thank you. As we said, we've got a very interesting stream coming up. I don't know how long it's going to be on for, and I totally forgot to pick up my headphones, which I really think I'm going to need for this one. So I am fully prepared for this. So yes, as I said, it should be quite different and interesting. This is meeting Momma Storm. I always like to have a look at the description because sometimes it just gives us a little taste, a little flavour as to what we're in store for. So this says Carneyland will return next week. So there we go, breaking news. But we can bring you this special presentation of Tim Storm and Momma Storm. The legend of Momma Storm started on episode 1 of NWA Power, when before Tim Storm challenged Nick Aldis for the £10 of gold, he uttered that he was Momma Storm's baby boy. This past weekend, Tim Storm went to visit his mother in Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff. Is that a place? That sounds like a drink. It's like, what do you want? Do you want a cocktail? Do you want a lark? No, I'll have a Pine Bluff. Okay, cool. I think we've got some of them, yeah. They're like White Claw, you know, Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And he brought his camera along.
They donated $20 via a super chat.
I'm getting interrupted.
Doc in a better place. Thanks for everyone who reached out, put out what I needed to in a live. Much love you, everyone.
Coaster Maniacs, if I'm going to be interrupted, you're the person that I want to be interrupted by. Coaster Maniac says, in a better place now. Thanks for everyone that reached out, put out what I needed to in a live. Much love you all. Shout out to you, dude. Shout out to Coaster Maniacs, who I know was having a down day, which happens to us all. So a down day for Coaster Maniacs, but good to hear that you are better today, my friend. I wish I was better. My computer literally just turned off. That is how prepared I am for this Momma Storm interview. Not plugged in. I think it's because Momma Storm around her house has only got one plug. So yeah, I'm running out of plug space. James Chadwick says, Days, I just tweeted you what WWE just out. Don't know if it's response to the Jackson Riker tweets. Dude, just tell me. What does it say? There's no secrets here. Just drop it in the chat. Never understand that. I never understand. There's so many people that are like, I've just sent you this tweet. You really want to see it. Just tell me. What does it say? We're all here. Do you know what I mean? Take the glory, my friend. You're bringing the news. False tension. What? I just shared the stream on Facebook. Amazing. Dave's random question. Who's your favorite comedy character on the NWA? Asked Chalmers. There's a few that I think do it very, very well. I think Zicky Dice is emerging. I think he is starting to find his feet. And yeah, I was never like a massive Zicky fan. But I just couldn't get a read on him. I couldn't figure out what he was about. He's kind of 80s and everything and in your face. But he only obviously gets a short period of time to show that. So I think actually the lockdown has really worked for him because I've seen him posting a lot of social media stuff and we've seen a few clips of Zicky. And I really feel that he's getting his personality across now. And I think I'm starting to understand it more. I'm starting to get Zicky Dice now. So I do like Zicky, but I just think that consistently Aron Stevens for me has been the funniest. I think Aron Stevens, when he first started out on Power, he was doing that kind of tropical pirates. You might remember at the start, before Question Mark came along, he was making out that he was a Hollywood actor. And he was going to be in Tropical Pirates. And, you know, he was having fun with all of that. He was coming out in, like, wacky costumes. And David Marquez was interviewing him, and there was some really fun moments. And then Question Mark came along, and of course then those two got together, and it's gone in a whole different direction now, and he's, this third degree Mongrovian black belt and all this kind of stuff. And I do think that he and Question Mark have worked very well together. So Aron Stevens for me has been the funniest. I think when we come back, it might be worth just mixing it up again. I'm not saying like a complete change direction, but I just think the Mongrovia stuff has kind of not run its course. Absolutely, it hasn't. But I just think that we're probably at the point where we just need to do a little tweak, a little change, do something. Because we've run with the third degree stuff for a little while. I think that he has been consistently the funniest. And I'm looking forward to what comes next. So I am a big fan of what Aron Stevens has been doing. I think looking around and looking at wrestling at the moment, it makes you really appreciate, and I'll be the first to admit this, I don't think I really appreciated Nick Aldis, right? I know how great he is in the ring, and I know how great of a promo he is, but I think, again, taking that time away from Power, watching some of those older NWA shows, I think have been really eye-opening as to the prestige that, that belt has. I mean, I knew the prestige it had, but I think the way that Nick Aldis carries it, he carries it with the prestige. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many times do you see people getting into a WWE ring and they'll, put the belt down in the corner? I've seen belts in corners of rings. Do you know what I mean? Like, they'll take the belt off, they'll just drop it in the corner. But it's like everything with the £10 of gold is just so important. Like, the way it's carried, the way it's presented, that it's just like the greatest treasure in the world. But not only that, like looking at some of the matches, the Cody match, that Marty Scurll match, the match even when we went over to China, and that was the first time that NWA had been over there, and we saw like, on £10 of gold, we had the history and, Nick Aldis first arriving and all of that. And I just think, looking back at all of that, thinking of everything he's been through, and the fact he's still champion now, the fact the guy is still champion now, you kind of go, wow, what other champion is like that? And I can't think of one. I can't think of another champion that's kind of been through as much as he's been through and still has the belt, like, currently. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's been legendary reigns. Look at Okada in New Japan and the matches that he had over there and everything he went through. But, I mean, the fact that we're even saying, like, Okada's name is huge because it shows that we're kind of starting to get to those levels. It's just a shame, obviously, that, it did go down. But I think that's allowed me to take stock of where we were, and kind of it re-emphasizes, refocuses a lot of things when there's no current wrestling or no current NWA. We get to go back to the older shows. So really, really interesting. Really, really interesting stuff. And I'm as I said, I'm looking forward to tonight. Something a little bit different. I do like these Tuesday streams because they are different. Do you know what I mean? Like, we always get, what to expect on a Monday and a Friday, on a Wednesday as well. Never know what to expect on a Tuesday. Never know what to expect. So we really are taking a big step into the unknown. Jerry says, Days, did you hear what Hulk Hogan's ex-wife said? I did. I disagree with it. I mean, I couldn't disagree with it anymore. And Tony Khan said she was banned, didn't he? Banned from AEW shows, just like her husband that she divorced in 2009. Drew McIntyre is the greatest ever WWE champion ever in history. I mean, even Drew wouldn't say that. Even Drew wouldn't say that. Drew's had it all for 2 months, if that now. Not even close. £10 a podcast says, when NWA first started this rebrand, the office always said protect the shield. The shield is the £10 of gold. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. As I said, it's been really interesting now that we are coming towards the end of this. I mean, I don't know what it's like where you are, but the news now is definitely talking about other things than COVID-19, like all the protests and everything that's happening in America. That's the headline news here in the UK. And of course, it will be in America, Canada, and I'm sure all around the world. So, that's taken the headlines. We're in phase 1 of coming out of the lockdown. Phase 2 is less than 2 weeks away. So once we get to phase 2, all the shops will reopen. Things won't be back to normal, but we are taking steps. We are at a point now where you can look and see light at the end of the tunnel, quite bright light now. I mean, when we were at the peak and it was just, man, how long is this going to go on for? Do you know what I mean? Like, you go back a month and when things were quite dark, but there is light at the end of the tunnel now. And I think now we can start to think about power coming back. I think we can start to at least pencil that date in and start to get some plans going. And I'm sure they've probably got a good idea as to when that's going to be. So I really think that this has been a good break. Obviously not ideal. No one would have wanted it. But I think that it's refocused me at looking at where we are. I've got, so much more, amazingly, more appreciation for Nick Aldis now as a champion. Just comparing him to like the other champions that are out there at the moment, for me, is the best. He's the best. I can't think of another champion that's had the belt as long, that's gone through as much as what he's gone through. And probably more than all of that, carried the title with the prestige that it deserves. I was saying on yesterday's stream, they did a United States Championship match at the end of hour 1 on Raw. And I was saying, like, this is the United States Championship. It's got an incredible history, and it's not even midway through the show. It's just thrown in at the end of hour 1. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, that should be the main event. It's a championship. It should be what we're building towards the whole night. This is a championship match. I think there was a couple of reasons as to why it wasn't the main event, but I just think that it doesn't do much for the title. Doesn't do much for the title to just go, right, here's a United States Championship match now. Because it makes the title feel a bit throwaway, But it's never that way with the NWA. They certainly, with Nick Aldis, is always in the main event if he's going to have a match. And just the way that they treat the titles, the way that he's carried it, I've got a lot of respect for that. A lot of respect for that. Days, can you just tweak Storm into Days? It would be perfect. I've no idea what that means. Days, I'm reading it again and I still don't know what it means. Days, what are your thoughts on NXT? I think it's good. I think it's got great wrestling. I think that it needs some good humor, comedy, but in all fairness, I'm not sure who in WWE is any good at that. I think R-Truth is one of the best at it, but even he has had some missteps recently. There's been a couple of segments with R-Truth that have kind of fallen a bit flat in recent weeks. But by and large, is very good. I genuinely think Asuka's one of the funniest people in the wrestling landscape. In regards to NXT, they just need some sort of humor. They need to mix it up a little. They've got very serious matches and stories, and that's great. And I think they're one of the best brands out there, one of the best promotions. But they are lacking when it comes to comedy stuff. And I was asked this the other day about what my favourite promotion was, and I said the NWA on one of the other streams. And I said it's because their balance is the best. Their balance is the best. When you watch the NWA, you're going to see good in-ring action. Yeah, you're going to see proper matches. I mean, one of my favourite matches this year, I keep coming back to it, Thunder Rosa taking on Allysin Kay at Hard Times, which was absolutely incredible. It was a fantastic match. So the talent is there to give you great matches, and you tend to get great matches every week. That Thunder Rosa one was exceptional, right? So you get great in-ring, but not only that, passionate promos, brilliant promos. And then not only that, they've got the comedy aspect. You know, they've got the wacky commercials. They've got, you know, the chance of like, I mean, look at this. What we're meeting Momma Storm tonight. We're gonna meet Momma Storm. We're gonna hear from Momma Storm. In fact, Momma Storm, I've only just noticed, Momma Storm is wearing a Momma Storm t-shirt. This is like Momma Stormception. That's what we've got going on right now. Momma Stormception. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. And as you said, it's just something a little bit different. And don't even get me started on Carneyland. You tell me what other promotions doing that. I mean, I know that AEW have got Being the Elite, but it's not the same as Carneyland, you know? Being the Elite is more like a vlog in many ways. I know that a lot of it is all of it is scripted. And very good. I'm not running down on Being the Elite, but it's not identical to Carneyland. So I think that they need to be applauded for what they've been doing. NWA pay-per-view sometime lack on paper, but when the camera is on, always delivers, says Roscoe. I agree with that. I agree with that. I think sometimes you can look, and I think maybe not so much for us, but I think more for the casual fans. They can maybe look and see some names they're not familiar with. I mean, if you don't watch Power, do you know what I mean? There's going to be some names you don't know. I think what's good, though, is there's names that people do know that's mixed in as well, and I think that's very important. It does make it easier to get into the product, you know, because, I know Aron Stevens. I remember when he was Damian Sandow, or, look at Eli Drake, or, you know, James Storm, or Melina, or whoever it might be that people know. And I think they've got a nice blend, a nice mix. And it would have been very interesting to have seen what teams would have been a part of the Crockett Cup before the Crockett Cup got obviously cancelled / postponed. We don't even know what's happening with that yet. I've not seen any news. So I did actually do a couple other points of research that I just want to quickly drop in because we're going to run out of time. Tim Storm, just going into this, you need to know that Tim Storm started wrestling, I think it was 1999. He started training. Early 2000s is when he first stepped into the ring. So he's had an over 20-year career. He is the oldest ever NWA champion at 51 years old. Obviously, we know that he's been doing that and being a teacher as well. He teaches as well as being a wrestler. But yeah, he's faced some big people. He's actually had a match on ECW when it was on Sci-Fi. He had a match and competed on there. And also, I didn't know this, but at Wrestle Raise 3 in 2017, late 2017, I think he was the NWA champion at this time. He actually faced and beat Jerry the King Lawler. He faced and beat. I mean, the beat part is probably the big part there. Beat Jerry the King Lawler. That is huge. Jerry Lawler. A lot of people watching this might only know Jerry Lawler as the wacky commentator, right? I'll go with the word wacky. They might only know him as the wacky commentator that's on WWE sometimes. Maybe does some in-ring stuff, you know, like King's Court, like talking bits. He is one of the biggest wrestling stars of all time. Like, what he did in Memphis, we've said before, they've always said there was two kings. There was Elvis Presley and there was Jerry the King Lawler. He could not walk around without getting mobbed by fans. People just absolutely loved that guy. Obviously, his match and everything that he had with Andy Kaufman, like, went national. And that has been made into, like, it was part of the Man on the Moon film with Jim Carrey. And Jerry Lawler is a big, big deal. Huge deal. So the fact that Tim Storm faced him is awesome. The fact that he beat him is absolutely mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. So very, very cool. So I'd be interested to know what Momma Storm has seen, to be honest. I'd be interested to know what Momma Storm has, like, what she knows of his career and how closely has she been following it. Does she I don't know. I don't know what she knows. I'm sure she knows that he's been champion, but has she seen many of his matches? Has she got a favourite Tim Storm match? Is she a fan of wrestling? I mean, those would be my serious questions that I would want to ask her. So, and I'm sure that's exactly the kind of thing we're going to get. So, days today on Twitter, Carol Baskin was trending. Yes, she has managed to get. She has managed to get Joe's farm, hasn't she? Joe Exotic Zoo. Ballyho, Aldis Hour, hope you are well. I was watching 10 pounds of podcast just with Aldis Hour. And excellent as always. Excellent as always. So shout out to you guys. Days, do you now understand what Seth is doing because he explained it on Raw Talk? I have not seen Raw Talk, so no. No, I don't understand what he's doing. What did Hulk Hogan's ex-wife say? It's all on Twitter, if you want to get into it. I wonder if Momma Storm ever attacked Storm's opponent out of rage. Maybe she was a manager for him. I don't think she was. I mean, it's an interesting question. I don't think she's ever actually been a part of anything. I don't think. But, maybe we'll find out. I don't know. I hope the pecan pie question gets asked. And also, I hope he just by chance asks her about Bitcoin, because that would be really useful to know where it's going to be in 5 years' time. Days, it was a statement basically calling for equality and condemning racism. What Seth said. Wolfman. Right, here we go. 20 odd seconds to go, and then we'll go over. Days, do a live stream of NXT Takeover. We're doing it on Sunday, dude. We're doing that on Sunday. Tonight we've got we're doing this, and then I've got to record Wrestling Escape Pod, NXT and AEW tomorrow. Wow, we've got loads lined up. Okay, Joe Galley says, thank you for checking out Carneyland. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the NWA and also subscribe to Carneyland. Days, can you give Mama Days a live Q&A one day? Oh, here we go. Momma Storm says you was not one bit of trouble to me. Aww. So, first of all, we're just going to see a little bit of the backstory. This is going to be for people that are joining us that might not have seen this before. And if nothing else, it's just a nice reminder of how great Power is. Just look at these scenes. You know, we spoke about the in-ring action, and we spoke about the passionate promos. And I got to be honest, one of the guys that I think is the strongest at both of those aspects is Tim Storm, which is incredible considering his age. You know, he goes in and he gives everything in the ring. And again, you know, speaks from the heart when he's cutting his promos. He's a real asset, Tim Storm. No. Wow. What a promo, man. What a promo. So it seems, I forgot about all of this, but it seems like Tim Storm's dad actually left. And his mom went to work and said that there was days that she didn't want to, but she had to because, you know, they needed the money. And she said she had something to prove, so. I'm bad and they know I'm bad, says Tim Storm. I'd love for him to be champ again. I think I'm really jumping onto the Tim Storm bandwagon now after singing Nick Aldis's praise. This is going to, like, now get me rooting for Tim Storm, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Tim Storm. FT underscore OK21 Gaming, shout out to you. What I tweeted you about, what WWE tweeted out. Okay. Tim says, none of us know how long we're going to be here for. Enjoy your time whilst you can. Love those people that have loved you. Do you know, it's just going to be this is just going to be nice, isn't it? This is going to be the kind of content the world really needs right now. This is the kind of content I'm not capable of. This is going to be heartwarming. This is going to be lovely. This is going to be everything to cheer everyone up. This is the exact kind of thing that I just can't make. I'm all about doom and destruction and gloom and suffering. And I don't get that from Momma Storm. Don't take anything for granted. Big smile on his face. Election is open to all citizens. Become a citizen of Carneyland on Patreon. Which I've got to be honest, I still need to do. I still haven't even looked at like all the benefits of different things, but I do know that people have said that like you get like exclusive content and like all this kind of stuff. Which sounds incredible, sounds amazing. We've seen a lot about Tim Storm, haven't we, as well? There's been a lot about Tim Storm whilst we've been in this kind of quiet period. Days, when do you see The Undertaker coming back? I think he will wrestle at Saudi, but I don't know. I don't know if he'll be doing anything else other than that. Is this replacing Carneyland just for this week? Just for this week. Vote Mr. Rotella. Oh, yes. Vote Mr. Rotella. I'm definitely going to vote for Mr. Rotella. Definitely vote him. So this is a passionate promo from Tim Storm. I want to say, was this from like episode 1 of Power just before he took on Nick Aldis? Because he has a match, doesn't he, for the £10 of gold, which I'm sure was on the first episode. And if he lost, he would never get another opportunity at the belt. That was the stipulation. And there we go, look. That was apparently the first Momma Storm chant. Amazing. How do we vote for mayor? I think it's all on Patreon. I think you go to Patreon and then you can vote for it there. Joe Montenegro says the town council members are sold out. Wow, brilliant. Well, that's great news for those that are a part of that. As I said, I know that there's like you can be on calls with like some of the superstars, NWA Super, which is amazing. And you get to go on to like exclusive videos and everything. I just don't have the time. That's my problem. I don't have the time. There's no way I could fit all like those kinds of things in. But I will sign up to be a citizen and I will cast my vote. And I'm telling you now, it's going to Mr. Rotella. It's going to Mr. Rotella. Are you going to start a campaign, Mr. Rotella? Are you actually are you going to launch a full social media campaign? Banners, video, maybe get a badge made. Yeah, I want to see a Rotella election advert. That's what I want to see. You know, the following broadcast was paid for by the Rotella Corporation. Something along those lines. That's what I want. I want to. Have you got like a puppy or something you can hold, and a baby or something? I don't know why I'm doing that, but what? The truth is this. I guess I'm not voting. Well, you could if you become a citizen. I will always be the second mayor of Carneyland. Oh. I'm the forgotten mayor. I'm going to be one of those questions that you get in history. You know, who was the first mayor of Carneyland? And everyone will be like, was it Adam Rotel? And they'll be like, kind of, but actually, you know, there was technically one before. And people are like, oh, really? Yeah. And he was sexy AF, let me tell you. He was hot, baby. Not a hot baby. I was, though. Right, here we go. Here's talking of hot babies. Woo! Momma Storm! Momma Storm! So that's where they are. I've been sat here in the living room and they're outside. That's a bit rude, isn't it? That's a bit rude. I mean, in all fairness, she did give me a lovely herbal tea. And she says, you wait there, flower. And I was like, okay. So I've just been sat here and they're just outside filming on the swing. Nicole, this is the man. I'll vote for Adam. I'd rule under the true mayor, Adam Ratella. Okay. This, we're wearing the same shirt, Momma Storm. You and me, baby. She seems lovely, man. I can't joke. What do you think about being Momma Storm and everyone chanting your name? She says it makes her feel good. I wonder what she thinks of this picture, though, because she doesn't look like that, does she? Does she? Well, she's not wearing glasses, and she looks moody, doesn't she? She probably saw this and said, why aren't I smiling? She's lived in this house 60 years. She's lived in that house for 60 years. And that's the only house he ever grew up in with his mom. Oh, Tim Storm's going to run for mayor. He'd do a great job as well, in all fairness. You was a wonderful son. Oh, he's getting emotional. She says, I tell everyone how great you are. She's going to be his campaign manager. He's going to ask, I had no idea you had that shirt on. Yeah, I got this shirt on, baby. Me and she gave it me when I first arrived. She's like, yes, you can come in, but you've got to wear this. And I was like, that's fine. I brought my own anyway. Shout out Wrestling Days, fam. Question mark needs to develop romantic feelings from Momma Storm. It would be a hilarious storyline. Tell Momma Storm we want a house tour. Do you know, I was just thinking the exact same thing. When he just said about the fact that they had grown up there and they'd been there for 60 years, I was like, well, let me have a look there. Let me have a nosy around. I want to have a nosy around an old lady's house. It's good to have a hobby. It's good to have a hobby. I missed the question. Lance Archer. Days, the fee per month is what keeps me from being in Carneyland. If it was a flat fee and not per month, I would join. But I still love Rotel at Carneyland and the NWA. Well, you just got to make work for you what works for you, haven't you, you know? Mr. Stinson getting a mention. She was afraid that he was going to get hurt. How do you feel about him? She wasn't happy when he became a wrestler. You could have been a singer, a preacher, a singing preacher. So she's not happy about him being a wrestler. She worries about him. And she said, rather than being a wrestler, you could have been a singer. You could have been a preacher. Could have been a candlestick maker. What is Momma Storm's greatest accomplishment? She says her greatest accomplishment was taking care of her kids. It's just a real heartwarming, lovely video, this. Oh, that's a great question, Chad. What advice would you give parents that have kids at home instead of being at school? Help them as much as you can. Scotty asks, what's her best recipe? Homemade soup. I fed my children well. You can tell by looking at all of them. Is she just turned on her kids? Heel turn. She's just turned heel. All my kids are fat. I fed them so well. They're all chunky monkeys. Tim, if you are watching that I didn't say that. It's the guns in it, Tim. Vape Ross Vape says, today is my 53rd birthday and my daughter's 12th. Happy birthday to you and to daughter Ross, daughter. Shout out to both of you. Happy birthday. Moda says, happy birthday to you guys as well. £10 a podcast says, this is some pretty good content. It's certainly very different. It's certainly heartwarming. Do you know what? I would compare this to what she just said. Some homemade soup. Some hearty, warm, homemade soup. Maybe with some lovely crusty bread. You know, that's what we've got right now. Comfort content. That's what we're watching. Comfort content. You know, like how everyone's saying this is going to be the new normal. Yeah, that's a new phrase, isn't it? Well, I think what the world needs right now is comfort content. Sonny, what's the other stream going to? Sonny saying it's good content. Happy birthday to everyone in the world that's birthday is today. Yes, if you did want to watch along with this, it is on the NWA YouTube channel. How did you get through the COVID-19 pandemic? She says she's had to stay indoors and she's not had a chance to visit people. And she loves visiting people. Well, will you be my mum as well? She says, okay, I will. Wow, she worked for 40 odd years. Ah. Oh, this is good. 3 or 4 times. She doesn't want to see him getting hurt. She could. She said that she can't watch him climbing up the turnbuckles. Cameron Fulton, shout out to you. I'm stealing that comfort content. Steal it. Have it. It's yours with love. So she's only seen about 3 of his matches. I was going to say it'd be really cool if she could go to like the Power Studio and be in the crowd, but I don't think she would enjoy it, to be honest. Oh, Momma Storm says, I don't know you, but I love you back. She's just a really lovely woman. It's hard to even have fun with it because she's just a really lovely woman. He's emotional. He's getting upset. Oh. She says that was easy. Look at this, easy that was. Easy peasy. Oh. Lovely. Just lovely. Just really nice. Just, do you know what I mean? What else can you say? Yeah, a difficult thing to stream because there's nothing that you can make fun of or have a laugh with or be cheeky about because she's just lovely. I think I've met my arch nemesis. Do you know what I mean? The one person in the world that I just can't have fun with or do anything with. The one woman in the world that I just can't do a stream with because she's just so nice. Yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. Everything that you thought she would be, just lovely. There's a Carneyland hat that's come in. Oh, hello. Bit of breaking news there at the end. Oh, hello, he's back again. Monica King, shout out to you. Hope you are well, my friend. Damn, that was sweet. Wasn't it? Tim Storm interview tomorrow. Well, I think we're going to watch that match again. So we have got some action now. This was the main event of the first episode of Power. So I can't remember when it was. October time, was it? last year. But obviously Camille wasn't talking at this point. Tim Storm, former champion, taking on Nick Aldis. If Tim Storm lost this match, he would never get another opportunity at the NWA Championship. So Jim Cornette on commentary at this time as well. I wonder as well if they will put the Mongrovian flag up. I still don't think they got round to doing that. They definitely need to put the Mongrovian flag up. Every time I see the Power Studio and I see all those flags, I keep thinking about that. Vape Ross Vape says, Days, where are we with channel membership? It's something I have been thinking about. I struggle with the perks side of things, if I'm being honest. I understand, like, you can get a little, like, you can, I think it could be awesome because it would be I'd make it, like, cheap. And you could have, like, emojis that you could use, like days emojis. I'd try and, like, take lots of, like, shock. I'd take lots of, like, pictures of my face, like, doing lots of different emojis for people to use. So I think that could be fun. And obviously, the longer that you stay subscribed, the little logo you get changes color as you climb up through the rankings, which I think sounds awesome as well. But like the higher brackets, you have to have like exclusive content and stuff like that. So I don't know. If I can find a way of building it into my week where it's like, right, Monday, I do the exclusive content and I do it that time every week. I have to have a routine. If I haven't got a routine, I'm a mess. Do you know, I'm a mess. I have to have a routine. So it is something that's kind of bubbling away on the back burner. Right, here we go. Anyway, we're underway with a bit of action. I know we've seen this match before, but man, we've seen so much. How weird that just before this stream, I was talking about like how much I appreciate Nick Aldis now and how great of a champion he's been and how that's really come across during the pandemic. And now we've just seen all this with Tim Storm. And now here we are watching Nick Aldis against Tim Storm from the first episode of Power for the NWA Championship. It's very cool, man. William Hensey says, ballyhoo. Days. I tell you what, this ballyhoo thing is so over.
Via a super chat. Ballyhoo days. Thumbs up.
Look at that. You even got it read out. You even got ballyhoo read out on the stream. Shout out to you, William. I don't even know what to say anymore. You don't have to do that. I keep saying you don't have to do that. And no one listens to me. No one listens to me. You're very kind, William. I really appreciate the support, man. I think you're on the council, aren't you? You're we're talking to. You should put that in your profile. You are a council member, an NWA council member. In fact, £10 a podcast, you might want to suck up a little bit to William Hensey. I think Coaster Maniacs is one as well. I think both of those guys are on the council. Shout out to Rye, CWC, WWE, AEW, and Daddy. Right, on the outside, Nick Aldis, Tim Storm running around, forearm strikes. Fighting on the outside. He's going to try and hurl him into the ring post. Gets reversed. It's Tim Storm that goes into the ring post. Nick Aldis roll into the ring. Breaks the count. I don't know if there's any cables or anything they've got to be careful of around there. I would think not. But for some reason, I always think there is. Like some cables or something for the cameras. But I think they do a good job of keeping them out the way. Charged into the ring post. Orange Santa, the legend. Aldis around. I think is Gary and Adam there at this point? I'm not sure. Here we go. Nick Aldis. Slams down. Storm drops the elbow. One. Kick out. like the stream. Shout out to you, Monica. Here we go. Forearm against the ropes. Big chop. That was a little bit Superfly Jimmy Snooker. I've only just noticed that. Chop drops down to one knee. Superfly reference. Right, here we go. Headlock by Nick Aldis. I think there's a Momma Storm chant during the match now. Which is obviously why they're showing this match, because he was talking about her before the match, and I think there's a little Momma Storm chant that broke out. It's kind of crazy how popular it became, that whole Momma Storm thing. Obviously, they would do a few things with it. They came out with the T-shirt. Danny Deals dressed up as Momma Storm. Do you remember that? And that actually ended up, the payoff was only the other week where we actually saw Tim Storm get his hands on Danny Deal for being so disrespectful. That would have been a good question. What did Momma Storm think about that? Although, to be honest, she probably didn't see it. Against the ropes goes Tim Storm, and he gets caught by Nick Aldis. We should be quite close as well to that Retro Mania Wrestling. That was due out in June, July time. Nick Aldis is one of the playable characters. And I think they're going to look at a whole create a wrestler aspect to that game. So that's on the way. Here we go. Back elbow by Tim Storm. Against the ropes goes Nick Aldis. Big boot by Tim Storm. I can see Wrestling Soup. Wrestling Super actually in the chat, which is awesome. Love those guys. They've got a podcast. I used to listen to those guys when I was doing toy hunts back in the day. Wrestling Soup, Don Tony. I used to listen to both of them. 1, 2, kick out. Here we go. I remember this being a really good match, and it is. I remember, doesn't Tim Storm do a little bit of cheeky work as well? A little bit of deceiving. Here we go. Figure 4. Figure 4 by Tim Storm. He learnt that from Momma Storm. She taught him how to do that. I'm globally respected journalist. I suck up to no one. Although you look great today, Coaster Maniacs and William Hensey. Love the shoes. I can see Sonny Wolf is over in the NWA chat as well. Shout out to you, Sonny Wolf. Sonny Wolf, you're everywhere. I can see you over here. I can see you over there. Don't forget to drop a like on the NWA stream over there as well. Give them a like spike. Here we go. Tim Storm running over. Back elbow by Aldis. Camille on the outside watching on. She hasn't got involved at this stage. Forearm strike by Tim Storm. Here we go. Tim Storm up top. He's got all this. Oh, superplex. I wonder how much give there is on that ring. Because you can get rings. I mean, rings do vary. Like, I know in Japan in particular, certainly with the All Japan Women's Wrestling, those rings were rock solid. They were rock solid. There was no giving them. It was literally like being suplexed on like cement. So I just wondered, like, big superplex there. I wonder how much give the NWA ring has got. I've seen some indie rings that, you know, when they take a bump, the ring's doing this. Do you know what I mean? It's more like a trampoline. This one seems quite stiff, to be honest. It doesn't seem to have any bounce to it whatsoever. Here we go. Tim Storm stepping up to the second row. Oh! Came crashing down, but no one home. Evening days. Hello, Ozzy. How are you doing? Ozzy Bayram. Just checking in and out. See you Saturday for 250. I'm really looking forward to that show, dude. Amanda Nunes. Can't wait for that main event. So, yeah, hope you're well, buddy. I can see Jacoby as well over in the NWA chat. Here we go. Aldis looking for the cloverleaf. Is this the King's Lynn cloverleaf? His last opportunity at the £10 of gold. William says, the weird thing is I did actually buy some new sandals today. So there we go. Mr. Rotella complimenting those sandals. Shout out to Wrestling Days fan. Hope you are well. We are just enjoying the main event of the first episode of Power. Before this, we actually watched a sit-down interview between Tim Storm and Momma Storm. And it was lovely. It was really nice. There's really nothing fun that you could say or make of it. How much damage has already been done? I wonder if Tim Storm is going to run for mayor. Because that's going to be tough competition if he does. That's good. Mr. Rotella, you are in trouble if you're up against Tim Storm. If Momma Storm runs, it's done. It's done. Forget it. Low blow. Yes, there's the cheeky low blow. Cheeky low blow. Momma Storm taught him that. Momma Storm taught him that. Oh! Perfect Storm 2. Oh. Tim Storm should do Tony Storm's finishing move. Storm 0. That would have been a good question. How do they feel about Tony Storm? Look at this stare down between Camille and Tim Storm. Camille just looking as Tim's climbing up. Big strike. Big right hand. Aldis climbing up. Both on the middle rope now. Oh, Aldis falls down the one side. Tim falls down the other. He's right at the feet of Camille. Look at that coat from Camille as well. That is a killer coat, isn't it? Look at that jacket. I don't think I've ever given enough respect to that jacket. Nice jacket. Here we go. Here we go. Clothesline. Oh, the way she goes down. Camille gets clotheslined down. That's one of the big moments. You see that clip all the time. Tim Storm doesn't care. Yes, come on, Tim. There's a woman down, but it doesn't matter. Here we go. He's trying to pick up Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis. Small package. Ah. And still, can I just point out, still no one has gone to Camille's aid. Even that lady that had the belt. She's just look, she's slowly getting back up of her own accord. Poor Camille. I would totally understand if Camille had beef with everyone over that. Do you know what I mean? She did nothing. She stood there. She got clotheslined. No one came to her aid. I don't even know if Orange Santa went. Are you all right, love? Just blink if you can hear me. Finally, the ref jumps to the outside to check that her head is still attached. Eric Haberman says, I just ordered my Insiders Wrestling podcast shirt. Shout out to you, Eric Haberman. There we go, Nick Aldis. Holding the £10 of gold in the air. Classic match, says Mr. Stinson. NWA chant, and obviously a lot of emotion here, because that means he can't compete for the title again. Here we go. We're gonna find out who's running to be mayor next week. Next week, who is running to be the mayor? Oh, Elder Sour. Elder Sour is one of the elders. Makes sense, doesn't it? Who else? Mr. Stinson. And Orange Santa. Orange Santa is one as well. No way. Those are all the citizens. I need to sign up to be a citizen. Mr. Rotella is a citizen. Here are all the visitors as well. They're all getting a little mention. Very cool. So, Carneyland is back next week. Just lovely. Just honestly, it was just a lovely little show. Just really nice. Jerry Smith says, Days, this has been a good show. It's just been a different, nice to watch, pleasant, everything we don't normally stream. Do you know what I mean? I mean, thank God that there was a lady that got knocked down at the end. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't cope with so much niceness. This is a wrestling channel. I'm all about, like, brutality and horror. So it was really great to see an innocent woman get knocked down at the end. New Carneyland hat is on the way. You can pre-order it now from NWA Shop. And don't forget as well, you can join up on Patreon to be a citizen, be a visitor. I don't think you can be a town council member anymore. I think that's been and gone, but you can sign up to still be a member of that. Monica King says, I love the crowd during that match. They were so fired up. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. They were. 10 pounds of podcast says it's growing. Well, it will do that if you keep touching it. Right. I think they're just running through some of the key moments that we've seen so far tonight. Days, how do you become a citizen? You go to the Patreon. If you go to the NWA Twitter account, they'll have full information on there for you. So if you go there, then you can learn how to be a visitor. You can learn how to be a citizen. Oh, hello. Oh, we are going to see the Danny Deals thing. Here she... Look at the crowd. I went crazy for this. And here is Danny Deals. Oh, after seeing the real Momma Storm, I find that super offensive now. Now I want to punch Danny Deals in the face. Look at him. I'm done with whatever this is. Look at this. Danny Deals. This had a mixed response from the NWA community, but I was really excited when I thought we were going to get Momma Storm. You took his spot. Everyone in America, please stay safe. Yes, well said. Jack Stein. Look at him. Jack Stein looks like a bad man, doesn't he? Danny Deals. Oh, are we seeing when... So, I think Tim Storm had won the match, and now... Was this from Superpower? I think this was from Superpower, wasn't it? Just the other week. Eric Haberman says, I'm ready to go for In Your House Takeover. It's going to be a good show, dude. Yeah, tomorrow we've got NXT and AEW. Thursday, we're watching Armageddon 1999. Friday, we're doing SmackDown. Saturday, we're doing UFC 250. Sunday, we're doing NXT TakeOver In Your House. And here we go. Look, Danny Deals putting on the wig. Why does Danny Deals own that nightie in the first place? That's the question we should be asking. Why does he own that nightie? Is it his nightie? Is there a cold old lady somewhere? I don't know. He's not Momma is the chant from the crowd. Here we go. Look, Tim Storm taking off the wig. And the glasses, putting them down. Danny Deals is trying to get out of the ring here. And he goes for a hug. Goes for a hug. So the thing was, if Tim Storm won the match, then he would get a couple of minutes in the ring with Danny Deals. And here we go, look. Perfect Storm. Perfect Storm to Danny Deals. Again, more brutality. I love you, Mom. One more time is the chant from the crowd. I said this at the time. I bet Danny Deals is lying there thinking, shut up, everyone. Shut up. Shut up. Don't want one more. Here we go. He's getting it, though. Against the ropes goes Danny Deals. Oh! Tell you what, you're going to want a stiff drink after that, aren't you? You're definitely going to want a stiff drink after that. Tim Storm applauds the crowd. What a man. Eric Haberman says he stole that from the real Momma Storm. He's a mama's boy. And that's it. That's the end. It ends with Tim Storm looking down the camera saying the words, I love you, Mom. And as you said, look, something a little bit different. Carneyland returns next week. It was actually longer by 18 minutes. So you had like more. So we got to see a great match again. The main event of the first ever Power. So we got to rewatch that great moment where Camille gets accidentally knocked down, clotheslined on the outside. So we got to see that. We got that great interview at Q&A. She just comes across like the loveliest person. And you can see just their relationship, how upset Tim Storm was getting. Just that talking to his mum, just that having a conversation. I cry when I have to talk to my mum, but for a very different reason. So it's lovely to see him, like, you know, that kind of bond. So yeah, it was lovely, man. Comfort content, as Adam Rotella says he's about to steal, and is welcome to. Yes, we are done. Right, I need to shoot because I have got to record the next episode of the Wrestling Escape Pod. Thank you to everyone that joined us. Really do appreciate the support. I know this was different, but it's nice still to just chill out, hang out. We're always here on a Tuesday. This is the time that I allocate to the NWA. I wasn't going to miss it for the world. And do you know what? Genuinely, I'm really pleased that I didn't. I'm really pleased that I didn't, because that was lovely. And the world needs more of that right now. So awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. And hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.